Good afternoon and welcome. As many would know, when it comes to forecasting, there are a number of challenges that we face here in Alberta, and some of our challenges are the same as anywhere else. No one can hide from global economic events or the instability of global events. But our biggest challenge is energy and energy prices and how those energy prices impact our revenues and the decisions that we make as government. And as government, it's even more challenging because we set the year's budget in the spring. We can't change the budget each quarter to address changes in revenue resulting from rising and falling energy prices. It isn't easy to make accurate or forecasts of an energy-driven economy that is prone to frequent ups and downs. And then there's the complexity that's built into the energy market that we have when you talk about differential, you talk about heavy oil, you talk about light oil. So we know the value of having strong forecasts that are based on hard work and in-depth analysis. We already talked to individuals, but we've brought together economists into the same room to discuss these challenges. We haven't done that until now, and this is the first time that I think we've done this in Alberta in this way. We held our first forecasting summit in Calgary this summer. Financial, energy, and economic leaders from the academic, private, and public sectors came together to discuss ways we could improve our forecasting, especially in light of the challenges that we face here in Alberta. It's nearly 6 months later, and today, as you can see, we met with some of the country's most knowledgeable economists and forecasters. One of the things that we heard back in July was the recommendation to use all the tools in our toolbox, and it was suggested that before Budget 2014, that we consult with the economic experts to get their thoughts. These economists with me today had a chance to preview our proposed economic forecast, and they've shared their opinions about where they think Alberta is headed and if our economic forecast for Budget 2014 is on the right track. So what we've talked about today, we've talked about a preliminary 5-year forecast and a lot of the numbers that we put on the table. I think one of the things that I found very interesting was we had some timely information that probably will impact things like where we put the dollar at. In our second quarter forecast, we talked about the dollar being in the 98-99 cent range and beyond. And I think the consensus around the table today is that that's probably high, that there's probably the thought that we would lower that a little bit. We had a good discussion about where we think WTI is going to go, and I think one of the biggest messages that I could take out of the discussion we had today was market access is a clear and critical piece for where Alberta producers are going to be getting their prices in the next little while. If we do not get market access, it changes the forecast dramatically for a number of reasons, and also I would say changes Canada's forecast in some respects. I guess the other thing that I would say that I heard around the table was that people are fairly bullish about Alberta's future and where Alberta is going to be in the next little while, that we are going to continue to have robust growth. But there are some threats out there in terms of that differential, in terms of some of the areas that we need to be cognizant of. So we're going to review all of the comments and potentially adjust the forecasts as required. We are then going to, prior to putting the budget to bed, we'll be talking to these same individuals that are with me today to test where we are at prior to putting the budget to bed and to ensure that they have some commentary on where we're going to put those numbers around the budget in terms of the dollars, the WTI prices, the gas price perhaps, the growth in the province, the population growth, the unemployment rates, all of the things that they spend a lot more time on than I do, and to try to get confidence for Albertans that our numbers are as close as we can possibly be, that they're as informed as they can possibly be, that they are as accurate as we can, because we don't have the luxury of changing them the next month. And so now I'll open the floor up to questions for anyone who would like to ask me or any of my colleagues here at the table.